Alright, what is up guys? Manny Gaming for the win here. Doing a little bit of a different type of video today because I was kind of bored. I was sitting at my desk, just waiting for football season to begin. The 28 teams play tonight, and the rest of the four will play, I think, Friday and Saturday. The Broncos will play their first preseason game against the Minnesota Vikings on Saturday night at 9 p.m. Eastern time. So, today I want to do what my predictions are for the season because I want this documented. I want this set in stone. I want people to know what I'm thinking because when I'm right, you know what I'm saying? When I'm right, I want it documented that I predicted this. So, in predicting games, I don't like the feel of predicting actual games, game by game, because you never know what's going to happen. Anything can happen any given Sunday. But a team is I predict by how many wins they're going to get. You know what I mean? Playoffs, division titles, making the playoffs. And I want to give you my prediction. This is going to be my honest prediction. So, I'm going to break down the positions. I'm going to say if we're an upgrade from last year, downgrade. So, beginning, I want to start on the offensive side, which I feel like last year, I'm going to grade them as like a 4.5 out of 10. So, left tackle, we got Garrett Bowles coming back. He had a shaky year last year. He was very inconsistent at times, a lot of penalties. I think he's going to do a lot better on his second year. Left guard, we're going to have Ron Leary there this year. That's going to provide Garrett Bowles with some very good veteran talent right next to him. So that's definitely an upgrade at left guard. Center, Matt Paradis, solid, probably our best lineman for the last 3 years. He hasn't missed a game in so long. He deserves a big extension this year. Right guard, we have probably going to be Connor McGovern. I don't really know a lot about him. We haven't seen a lot of him. But compared to our left guard last year, because Leary was our right guard last year, he's moving to left guard. Our left guard last year was Max Garcia. Definitely a big weak point on our line, probably our second worst part. So I think that's going to be an upgrade at right guard. And at right tackle, we have Jared Valdir coming over from the Cardinals last year. He was a little injury prone. Hopefully he can get it going this year. I think he's been very consistent in practice, like being there and everything and practicing. So I think that's definitely an upgrade at the offensive line. I think we can only get better on the offensive line, so I like that. Tight end position. Tight end's going to be a big question mark for us this year. It's looking like Jake Butt is going to lead the pack. I'm thinking we have Jake Butt there. Didn't play last year. He was a late draft pick. He was injured last year, did not play. We have Jeff Hireman, who's injury prone, missing a lot of practice. I don't see him making a lot of noise at this time. My third guy to look for is Troy Fumagalli. He is a draft pick this year. He's missing his one of his index fingers, I believe. But I don't know. He's a good pass catcher, a good blocker, I heard as well. So hopefully we could pick up where we left off last year in the tight end position. I think a good quarterback is definitely going to help the tight ends. So, moving on, wide receivers. I think this group's going to be greatly improved from last year. Last year, we had a lot of drops in the wide receiving corps. Benny Fowler liked to drop every pass. I also can say that Trevor Siemian didn't have a very good spiral, and neither did Paxton Lynch. So, I think it was much harder for the wide receivers last year to catch balls. So, I think Demaryius Thomas, Emmanuel Sanders is going to be a great duo in the league again. I think behind them, Courtland Sutton is making a lot of noise in the training camp. So we'll see how he does in preseason. I think he's going to do very well. And also from Penn State, Deshaun Hamilton. I think he's going to be a great red zone target. I think he's going to be a nice complement to Emmanuel Sanders. I think putting Demaryius Thomas and Courtland Sutton on the outside, Emmanuel Sanders in the slot, I don't think you can go wrong with that. I think we're going to be very much improved on the wide receiver corps this year. And finally, or not finally, also running back. Running back's our second biggest question mark on our entire team, I believe, along with tight end. I think on offense, definitely. Leading this pack, I think, is going to be Devontae Booker coming out of training camp, at least into the first preseason game. Devontae Booker was quite inconsistent last year. He was pretty good pass catching. I don't think he's an every down back, of course. I think it's going to be definitely a running back by committee this year. So look for him. Royce Freeman out of Oregon. I really like this guy. He runs over people. I like him. I think he's a speedster. I think he's going to do really well for the Broncos. I think eventually he's going to make a very big impact. Behind them, there's D'Angelo Henderson. Didn't see a lot of him last year. I heard he's fast. I heard he's agile. So we'll see if he can make some noise in the preseason and hopefully in the regular season, because I think these running backs are going to need someone's going to have to step up and be that guy. Finally, on the offensive side, the quarterback. You see back there, I got my Case Keenum jersey. I am so excited for this year when it comes to the offense. I think the offense is going to be putting up at least 20 points a game, which is, that's so much better than last year. I think this offense is going to be so much more improved. I think that if our line can block better, I don't think we need C.J. Anderson anymore. Losing C.J. Anderson's huge and everything, and I think we're going to definitely miss him. But I think if our line can block for our running backs by committee, I think we'll be just fine in the running game. And the passing game will be complemented by the running game. And I think we're definitely going to be a run-first team still in the beginning of the season. But I definitely would look to see that we open up and start to pass more as the season goes on and games go on. So I think we're going to be definitely aggressive at points, and I like that because last year, Broncos were not aggressive. They're very one-dimensional. So, yeah, I'm tired of seeing third and longs, and I think with Case Keenum at quarterback, he's going to be very efficient. He can handle the ball, not turn the ball over as much. They're going to be great on the offense. So I'm thinking the offense is going to be improved by, I would give it probably on paper, definitely a 7 out of 10. I think it's got definitely a lot of upside to it. So, moving on to the defense. Missing a couple players from last year. Definitely Aqib Talib. We're definitely going to miss him. The quarterback's probably our biggest question mark on our defense this year. Chris Harris, obviously solid corner, number 1. Number 2, Bradley Roby and Tremaine Brock. Brock had a good season in 2015. But we're really going to need him we're going to really need that out of him this year to perform because we cannot get burned on that third corner. Bradley Roby is probably going to end up being the second guy there. Bradley Roby is a very solid cornerback. This is going to be his 4th or 3rd year. I think he's going to be very well this year, just like he was last year. He got a contract extension, so Tremaine Brock, that's going to be our biggest question mark on the cornerbacks. And who's going to be our 4th guy, I don't know. Isaac Yidiam is going to be in the mix. Brendan Langley. I don't know if we'll pick up any veteran talent. Maybe Kayvon Webster, give him a call back. I don't know. But cornerback is definitely going to be our biggest question mark. Safeties. Safeties also quite small question mark, but still a question mark. I definitely think this group is going to be improved from last year. Darian Stewart is going to be the free safety, I think, or one of the safeties. Darian Stewart's gonna be a starter. Solid year last year. He's good tackler, good cover guy. So I like Darian Stewart. Justin Simmons, I think he's gonna be our go-to guy at safety this year. I think he's gonna be much more improved from last year. When T.J. Ward was traded or released rather, he really had to step up. So I'd like to see what he can do in his first year being a full-time starter. Also, Will Parks, I think he's going to be solid. Hopefully, we need that out of him. And at the safety position, there's one guy that I'm very excited for, but has not practiced yet. And that's what I'm worried about. Su'a Cravens. Su'a Cravens from the Redskins last year. Didn't play as much last year. Kind of lost his love for football, it seemed like. At times, looked like he stayed away from the team. He's coming in this year with a much more positive attitude, and I like that from players. I like to see that. Everything. He's very excited. He's definitely like C.J. Anderson on social media, which kind of scares me, but I think he's going to be that guy that's going to be able to cover tight ends and running backs because we've never had that on our team last year. Last year we got burned by tight ends and running backs. Travis Kelce, Kareem Hunt, absolute nightmares for our team. So I think that if we can get an improvement on that, I think that our safeties will do much better this year if Su'a Cravens can be that guy for that. Moving on, the interior lineman looks like going to be Adam Gotsis, making a leap up to being a starter this year. Had a run-in with a rape charge. I don't think that's anything. I think that's going to be dismissed. he didn't do it anything, so not worried about that. Also, Doma Peko was super efficient last year, good at tackling, a good guy to plug up the middle. I think he did really well for us. Some veteran locker room, like, he was there. He was a veteran in the locker room. It was good to have that after we lost TJ Ward. So I think Doma Peko is going to be solid this year again. And the pass rushing is going to be absolutely insane this year. I think the Broncos are going to be a force to be reckoned with. I think we're going to be back to our 2015 form. And I think that even if the corners can't perform like they did in 2015, if there's a no-fly zone, I think we're going to be just fine. Because when you have Bradley Chubb and Von Miller lining up onto opposing defenses, these quarterbacks are not going to have any time to throw the ball. And I think that these two guys, as a tandem, are going to absolutely wreak havoc. And behind them, you have Shaquille Barrett and Shane Ray. I don't know if Shane Ray might be traded or released before the season begins, but either way, we have depth on our outside linebackers, pass rushers. I think that they're going to be absolutely insane for us this year. Derek Wolfe, solid. He's solid, you know what I mean? Like rushing the passer and a run stopper. I think that we're going to be much better at defending the pass because we're going to get much more pressure this year. I feel like last year we missed a little bit of a step from being a good pass rushing team. I think that's going to really help us this year with Chubb, Bradley Chubb coming in as a rookie. I think he's going to have a great rookie year. It's not hard for rookies to become good pass rushers. I think it's one of the easiest positions for a rookie to come in and do, but it's a very important position. And I think that if we can generate pressure on opposing quarterbacks and lines, I think it's going to complement the cornerbacks, and I think we're going to be just fine on defense. So I think that we will definitely be better this year, but I think it's going to depend on Su'a Cravens. I think Su'a Cravens is going to play a very big role in helping our defense because we can generate pressure all we want, but like we did last year, but those running backs going outside and not blocking and just a little flip out and the running back goes for 25 yards, we can't have that this year. So that's going to be huge that we could stop that. Special teams, did I cover everything on the defense? Yeah, so special teams, I think that having Marquette King on our team is going to help a lot with field position battles. We punted the ball a lot last year, and sometimes the punts were not so great. We gave up a couple punt returns. I remember Tyreek Hill definitely took one back on us a couple times. I think having a better punter this year and Marquette King is going to really help us. He's going to be a dangerous weapon. I like to see that if we're in a 4th and 7, we can really pin them deep. You know what I mean? And then our defense can do their work and get better field position. I mean, if we're on our own 40-yard line, 4th and 7, we punt the ball and pin them back on like their own 10 or something. Our defense they can put pressure on them and everything, back them up, and then they got to punt out of their own end zone. I mean, that's already giving us probably field position in their territory. So I think the field position battle is definitely going to be crucial for Marquette King to come in and win for us. Kickers, Brandon McManus had a little bit of a down year last year compared to his 2016 season. Hopefully he can have a bounce back season, do a lot better for us.
Do you want to do 1 or 2 wheelbarrows?
Yeah, I'm just making a video real quick. I gotta finish this.
Well, I have to leave it.
I just gotta finish this video. Sorry about that. So, Brandon McManus, hopefully he can come back, have a bounce back season. I heard he's practicing well, but that's been the storyline since Vance Joseph has been the head coach, that we've had great practices. So we will see about that. Punt returners and kick returners were an absolute disaster last year. We had Isaac McKenzie on our punt return. He must have had at least 5 or 6 drops and started pretty much the whole year and was just an absolute train wreck. Definitely lost some games because of him. I think we would have been at least a 7-win team if he had not fumbled the ball so much and cost us so many times. I think that Philip Lindsay will come in and be the kick returner and make the team. I think that'll be great. I think he's a good, dangerous weapon. I hope Isaiah McKenzie does not make the team. I hope he's not on the team. Or if he is on the team, he better improve on his punt catching abilities. So that's definitely going to be a question mark, punt return. So overall, the team, I think the offense and defense, I think the defense has definitely a chance to be a little worse in the secondary than last year. But I think the pass rushing is definitely going to help it out and be better. The offense, I think, can only go up from here. I think the offense is going to be so much better. I think they could definitely score a lot of points. If the Broncos can, if they can average 26-ish points a game, 20 points a game, I think the Broncos are going to have a very good season. I could see the Broncos being an 11 or a 10 win team. I could definitely see them winning the division. I don't see the Raiders being that big of a threat this year to our division. The Chiefs, I don't think Patrick Mahomes is going to perform that well this year. I don't think they're going to be a threat. I think the Chargers are going to give the Broncos the best run for their money. But the way the training camp has been going for them so far has been absolutely brutal with injuries. But I definitely see the Chargers making some noise, and I think the Raiders are going to be third. I think the Broncos and the Chargers are going to battle for first and second in the division. But either way, I see the Broncos making the playoffs this year. I do definitely see them making the playoffs. And I see them making noise in the playoffs because whenever the Broncos make the playoffs, they can, Von Miller and those pass rushers can really kick it in and become a high caliber defense in the playoffs. So where the Broncos go in the playoffs is beyond me. I don't know. You know what I mean? No one expected the Broncos to do as well as they did in 2015. So I don't think there's any ruling out that the Broncos can't be an AFC Championship caliber, clinching team. So yeah, I mean, I think we're definitely going to learn a lot from the first few games, but I want to see that. I want to see if we do well in the first few games, like we did last year. I want to see that continue, and I want to lose a step. And I want to, you know what I mean? Linebackers. I totally forgot linebackers. Brandon Marshall, Todd Davis. I think linebackers gonna be solid this year. It's pretty much the same group as last year. We didn't lose that many people. Denny Trevathan, losing him, I think 3 years ago, was definitely tough after our Super Bowl season. He was really good at middle linebacker and really helped us out. So I just hope that Brandon Marshall can do a little better than he did last year. And Todd Davis, who recently got a contract extension, I think he's making $5 million a year now. Hopefully he can do better, or $15 million. I don't know, 5 or 15. But yeah. So my prediction is I see the Broncos being a 10 or an 11 win team. I think they're going to either be first or second in the division, and definitely an improved team from last year. So that is my prediction for the Broncos this year. I want this documented. I want this on YouTube for everyone to know. So when I'm right, you guys will all be able to come back and say, wow, this kid knows his stuff. So thank you guys so much for watching. If these predictions are an epic fail, then wow, I stink. But for now, I will see you guys later. Thank you guys so much for watching, and adios.